to heal the sin-sick soul. Sometimes I feel discouraged and think my work's in vain. But then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again. Oh, there is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. If you cannot preach like Silas, and you cannot pray like Paul, just go and tell the Maker who's there to guide us home. In the Gilead to heal the sin-sick.
Hello, my name is not Janet McFarland. I am Chris Palm, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. To you who are here in the sanctuary with us, hello, Debbie, and those of you who are Zoomers who are with us virtually, we are glad you are here this morning at the First Unitarian Church of Oakland. We are committed to becoming a community where everyone is welcome and differences are celebrated. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey, we bid you welcome. If you are here for the first time, we invite you to fill out a Newcomer Connect card online. You can use the QR code on the card in the seat back in front of you, or the link on the First Unitarian Church of Oakland website. Or you can leave your contact information on your way out at the greeters table in the foyer or during coffee hours in Wente Hall, which is right next to us, on the welcome table. The welcome table is in Wente Hall, if that did not make sense. Doing this helps us to help you explore what our community offers and to find ways to participate. Welcome to everybody. Now there are announcements. Next Sunday, June 8th, we will have our annual music service with the musicians of our church. Then the Crescendo Choir will be on summer break from June 11th and returning on August 27th. Next Sunday, will also be Reverend Laurel's last Sunday until her return in September. To be sure to come by that week and bid her. Let me read that again. Be sure to come by that week and bid her safe travels. Then, after the service, you are invited to join the Rite of Return pilgrimage. That's the Rite of Return for Palestinians around Lake Merrick. If you would like a ride to the starting point at the Islamic Cultural Center, email justice@UU-Oakland or talk to Heather or Mary or other members of the Justice Steering Committee. And can those people that are members of the Justice Steering Committee raise their hands and look around if you don't see them? Okay. On the following Saturday, June 14th at noon, you're invited to join our UU Oakland contingent at the No Kings Stop ICE expansion action in Dublin. Those not going to Dublin can attend the No Kings event in Oakland. Again, welcome to everyone. Oh, I forgot something. The land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the land of the ancestral people of this land, the Lisan, and Ohlone peoples. Our church, institutions, and homes are occupying their ancestral lands called Hoshon. We acknowledge that the lands were colonized and settled while the Ohlone peoples lived here. For millennia, they have had an ancestral relationship with this land, the plants, the animals, and the water, continuous to the present day. Ohlone people are still here. We also recognize the spirits of the Ohlone ancestors are present. Stealing land is a European concept, not an indigenous one. We understand that we are not the ones who first settled on Ohlone land, but we still benefit from it.
And now I hope you will join me in the chalice lighting words. And if you know the hand signals, then please join me in those as well. We light this chalice, symbol of Unitarian Universalism. May it remind us of the divine spark in all of creation, the power of love to heal what is broken, and to be grateful for life's blessings each day.
Listen, a wisdom within you calls to a wisdom beyond you, and in that dialogue lies peace. Together we say, peace is possible.
Words by Howard Thurman. Howard Thurman, American Black theologian, Christian mystic, writer, and educator who embraced radical nonviolence and influenced leaders of the civil rights movement. In the stillness of the quiet, if we listen, we can hear the whisper of the heart-giving strength to weakness, courage to fear, hope to despair. Together we say, Black Lives Matter.
May we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, to the community, and to each other. In one voice, come, let us worship together.
And if you'd please rise in body or spirit, we'll have an opening song, Gathered Here. We'll sing it through twice, and I will start you with my drum here. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. One more time. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near. Thank you. Have you ever heard or used the phrase, I will hold you in my heart? Well, I just returned from a 5-day silent meditation retreat in New Mexico, and I carried you in my heart when I was there. And one of the things that made me feel so grateful is that it was here that I learned really the meaning of community. And I think it's actually a skill that you can develop to become part of a community. And this is where I raised my children, and I return now, so honored to serve as your minister for at least a little while. And so I want you to know that now and always I will hold you in my heart. And at the meditation retreat, it was based on a lot of Buddhist principles. And 4 of the principles are metta, which is loving kindness, karuna, which is compassion. When you see suffering, that it opens your heart to compassion. And then there's mudita, which is joy. And then ubeki, which is equanimity. And so I realized while I was there that what we do in our embracing meditation is basically metta, karuna, and mudita. We send out loving kindness, we open our hearts to compassion for one another, and there's much joy in this community. So in a moment, I'm going to ring a bell, and I invite those of you who are here to speak out loud what is in your heart today. And if you'll take a moment, I know the lights are very bright, but we have a number of people who are joining us on Zoom. So let's just turn around and greet them and acknowledge that we know that you are here with us. So we have Hester. Oh, I guess we're going to know who the people are. There they are. Wow. Wow, I love that. And so for those of you who are here on Zoom, the reason I had my phone out is that if you want to put in your chat, in the chat box, what you would like me to share with the congregation, I'll read it out loud. And embracing meditation. Dick Bailey wrote, "Laurel, we will forever hold you in our hearts." I've been crying a lot lately. I know. And Nancy Henderson asks, healing for my sister-in-law, Jan Tedder. And Judith Hunt, who's one of the members of the board, is here with us on Zoom, and she sends love to everyone. And Sherry Larson Beville, another one of our lay leaders, sends for healing of the world. There's just a lot of love in this community. So for all that has been spoken out loud, and for that which is in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts, may we say together, we hold them in our care. You know, another thing, we're going to have a moment of silence together. And when we did we were in silence for all 5 days, but one of the things that one of the leaders said at the very beginning is that when we're in silence, we're not trying to silence you. We know and honor your voices, but there's so much going on in the outside world that a silent meditation is an invitation to turn inward and to listen to that still quiet voice within. So let's just take a moment in silence. The theme for today's service is lots and lots of celebration. And what we're celebrating in this service is that for the last several months, we've been engaged in what's called a listening campaign. So here up on the chancel, I have with me some folks who are going to be sharing their experience as part of the listening campaign. One of the things that this congregation did this year is that we joined Genesis, which is a faith-based community organizing group, and Mary Lim, who is the executive director of Genesis, is one of the ones who helped us launch and do training for the campaign. And Mary, I don't know if you're here on Zoom. She was expecting to be here in person, but she was sick. So Mary, if you are here, thank you so much for the role that you played. And now let me first invite up Heather McLeod.
I'm going to speak from down here so you can see our beautiful tree. Would somebody like to hold it up? It's kind of low. So in January, the Social Justice Steering Committee started this campaign. And I'm stealing these words from Jane Facente, who participated in a similar campaign in her congregation back east. They said the one-to-one congregational campaign builds a relational culture inside a congregation in which people in face-to-face conversations about what they value and what actions they do and want to take based on their relationships with one another and what they value as a community. We set a goal of doing 100 conversations. We've done 115 that were recorded, and so here they are on the tree. Yes. Oh, okay. And actually, we only put the names of the people because there were more conversations. There were 78 people who participated so far. Oh, it's updated to 90. It kind of updates daily, and there are people scheduled into the future. If you participated in the listening training, would you please raise your hand or shake your head or do something to look around? Because keep your hands up, because if you have not been listened to yet, find one of these people who you might want to do a listening session with. How many, now the people who have been trained to do the listening and the people who have been listened to, will you raise your hands, please? Okay, you can see we have some more listening to do. Some people declined, and that's fine too. Another quote from Jane's document, it said, "Today in our neighborhoods and congregations, we find a lack of community. We do not know each other. We don't have an understanding of who is the community and what do we value as a whole. These relationship building campaigns were developed as an intentional way to address the problem, and the purpose is to weave or reweave the social fabric so the community is in relationship, understands what it values, and is ready to take effective action together." Going forward, I have a hope that every Sunday there will be a table with 1 or 2 listeners there, and new people can go to that table and know people more deeply than just the social chit-chat. That committee meetings might start with this, that any interdenominational work we do will connect with those other congregations in that way. So see me if you'd like to be trained or do anything else, but right now we have 4 people to talk about what their experience was like as a listener or being listened to. Thank you.
And first, Mary Lane.
Test. Ooh. Okay, all right. So, as you probably heard, I'm a member of the Justice Team Steering Committee, and when our committee first took on the listening campaign, I'm going to admit I was a little skeptical. So what did listening have to do with our justice work? And wasn't that really something, was this a continuation of the Hope for Us effort? Was this something that would be initiated by the Committee on Shared Ministry? I was wondering. But as I got into the listenings, I started to think of the words we say every week during the offering to the work of the church, which is weaving a tapestry of love we call community. Perhaps you and me were each a thread in that tapestry, and maybe by listening, we weave ourselves deeper into that tapestry. Okay, that's better, but it didn't really work for me, that metaphor, so another one started popping into my head as I continued to listen to others, and I started to think of us as a net of souls. And each one of us is a knot or a nexus in that net. And when we really take the time to slow down and deeply listen to one another, we're building softer and stronger connections between each one of us as a net in that net of souls that we call community. And so, what's the connection between a net and justice work? Well, with that net, now softer and stronger through our deep listenings and building relationships with one another, we can do a lot of things. The ties between us can hold one another up when we're feeling weak. We can be a hammock, and we can sway together in a warm summer breeze as one. And perhaps we can give rest, support, or catch others in need of accompaniment or when they're falling through the cracks in our society. Or maybe we can use that beautiful net to patch the ragged edges of our world. So, I want to be in that net with you, and I want to strengthen those connections. So let's listen deeply to one another and build a stronger, larger net.
And next, Malcolm Talcott. Oh no, is it Malcolm?
Sure.
Come on up.
Hi, I'm Malcolm. My wife and I joined the church back in the early 90s, and we were very active members for quite a while. But then we dropped out for a number of years. I don't know, 10, 12 years ago or something. We'd come back every once in a while. We came a few times last fall, and it felt really good, and we've been back and active members again since January, and that feels great. Thank you. I joined the choir. We heard about the listening project, so we both signed up right away. And I really enjoyed it. It's great. And for me, the part of the reason why I think I've enjoyed it so much is the questions that you engage with are really thoughtful, they're thought-provoking, and about why did you first come to the church? Why do you keep coming? And in my case, why did you stop coming? And why did you come back? And now why are you coming? And what do you like best? What does it really work for you when you come to church? Which parts of Sunday morning don't work so well? Which parts do you really like? Do you like this? Do you like clapping? Is that, how does it all fit and work for you? And that's really kind of fun, and again, it's thought-provoking. And then hearing somebody listen to me when I tell them what I'm thinking, it forces me to think about these things a little more deeply. And then I listen to somebody else, and I hear how they think about these things. And that causes me to have more input into how I think about it. But the best part of all, that's the most fun, is just having a one-on-one conversation with an individual. And we're not distracted, we're just focusing on one person. And I've done this with people that I just met that day, and I've done it with people I've known for more than 20 years, and each time it's remarkable. Every time it's just really enjoyable. And as we've talked about connection, it does deepen my individual connection with that individual. Even if I've never met them before or I've known them a long time, now I know them differently and they know me differently. And so as far as my bond with them and my bond with the whole community, that's stronger. And it makes me feel more engaged with the whole church community and more interested in getting more engaged. So one of the questions is, what else would you like to see? Is there something you're not getting from the church? Well, if that's the case, tell somebody. Maybe you could lead that too, of course, but it's engaging. It's fun and exciting. So I'm enjoying it. I still have people on my list I haven't gotten to yet. And so maybe next fall, I may walk up to you sometime after church and say, has anybody listened to you? And ask you if you want me to. Thank you.
And Steffi, why don't you come on up next?
Hi, everyone. It's an honor to participate in the service and speak about my experience with the listening campaign. I first started attending First Unitarian Oakland 2 months ago. I participated in the listening program 1 month and 3 weeks ago. I became aware of the campaign, I'm sure like many of you did. Heather spotted me at coffee hour, stopped everything she was doing, asked if I'd been listened to, and then immediately paired me with my listener, Caitlin. She and I ended up chatting for about an hour, talking about things like what brought us to church, what religion meant to us, and our lives generally. I came to First Unitarian to find a community with shared values. My first week, I was in awe with what I found. UU valued things I cared about, openness and care for everyone. Each person I talked to seemed genuinely warm and curious. Rev Kev even preached that week about a concept from my Filipino heritage. What other sign was there that I had found my community? And yet, even with all that, I came home that day exhausted. I am somebody who dreads mingling in groups, especially with new people, and this was no exception. More importantly, I'm also someone who's used to being burdened by feeling other, and unfortunately, new usually means just that. From past experience, I thought that these would just be feelings I'd hold on to and have to work through for weeks, months, or even years. That next week, Heather's warm invitation and Caitlin's open ear perfectly eased that feeling. Each was a clear action to show that my voice, like everyone else's, has a space here. Even as new, you belong and you're already welcomed. I really appreciate the campaign and everyone here who's made me feel at home in such a short amount of time.
And Tyler, come on up.
One of the things I found immediately challenging about the listening campaign was that there weren't concrete goals in the way I'm used to thinking of concrete goals. I kind of structure my life around things that I can confidently say are like done or not done. And, I know I'm not the only one, because in our first listening meeting, there were a lot of questions about like, what exactly is it that we're trying to do? And the answer was, building community, bringing people in. And while that's wonderful, it's again, not something you can move to a done column. It was only after doing some listenings, though, that I realized that open-endedness is kind of the point, and necessary, because the relationship between any two people is unique. And what it will mean when you do a listening session with somebody is going to be different for each person. So that, for me, led me to kind of create with the other person what the point is. And I'm going to share what I found with you all now. The first thing I found was that it was about enriching mine and hopefully the other person's experience when you go to service. I really enjoy seeing people's faces and knowing a little bit about their background, right? A little bit about their story. Whether I talk to them about it that day or not, just being surrounded by faces of people who I feel like I know in some stronger way it's really rewarding in a way that really kind of snuck up on me. But I'm very thankful for it. And I think the other one is oftentimes when I have these conversations with people, the question was like, what is the church now and what do I want it to be? Not me, well, that was part of it, but also the person that I'm talking to. And I think something that I realized from that is the church will never be like the perfect institution for each individual person, but it will be an incredible, broad base, wonderful living thing for everybody here. And if there's something not here that you wish was here, or if there's something here that you want changed, it's really within all of our power to do that. The church really is us, right? I think new people, myself included, ask, what is the church? And the answer is, it's us. And that's something that I guess I didn't realize until talking to people, especially new people. So, and I think the third thing is that it helped me learn what a religious community is like. It's kind of weird to ask people to go to coffee with them and talk about each other and talk about our lives together, especially if you don't know them very well. And I guess I thought people would not want to do that because, maybe there was a fear that I would try to sell them Tupperware or that I would like badger them about becoming a member of the church or something like that. But the fact that everybody I asked just said yes and did it with me was amazing. And that feeling of shared trust is something I'm still getting used to here, but it's something I value a lot. And this exercise really solidified that for me.
So actually, let's just give a round of applause to these folks up here. And to all of you. So Tyler, offer to her.
There are many ways each of us can help weave the tapestry of love we call community, including our financial contributions and our participation in congregational life. For the month of June, we will be giving half of our collection away to the McClemens Merit Award that provides scholarships of $1,000 per semester to all students who have completed the interview process, who have graduated from McClemens, and maintain a minimum 2.0 GPA in academic courses. Please be generous with your support for this worthy work. For those of you visiting us for the first time, let the basket pass. Your presence is gift enough. And now, will the ushers please come forward to receive the offering? On the screen, you will see other ways to make your financial contribution, besides putting money in the collection basket.
And you can remain seated, but please join me in singing Return Again. Let's now bless our offering with the words on the screen in unison. To the work of the church, which is weaving the tapestry of love we call community, we dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings. For this song, please, everyone rise in body or spirit. The beginning refrain of this about give light and people will find the way is something, those are the words of Ella Baker. Some of you may remember that we went out onto the patio a few weeks ago and sang this song on Mother's Day, and then we read the Mother's Day proclamation about peace. Bring light, people So now we're going to be transitioning. So folks here up on the chancel, thank you again. And you can return to the pews. And we will invite up our board president, Janet McFarland, who will begin our special meeting of the congregation.